was actually presented with an opportunity when I was about 13 years old. Where we're sitting now is where I went to school. I used to play rugby, and some of these gang lords saw me running on a rugby field, and the one guy approached me this one day, and he said, you are actually quite fast, we can use you running around with the guns. And a lot of our young men out there is actually falling under the gangsterism category.
69% of the people in Helenvale are under the age of 35. That's a very particular statistic because it informs the entire socioeconomic approach. That's why youth employment options is such a big component of it. That's why safer schools is such a big priority focus, because a lot of the children are school going.
Our youth is not employed, and so they get frustrated. And a lot of the times, they do wrong things just to get that money, just to get their lives going. One of the other challenges that they're facing is that they don't know how to present themselves, where to go to, what to do. They just think, I live in Helenvale, so there's gonna be nothing. There's nothing for me outside, so let's just stay here, and just don't have a vision or even think about a future. Generation from generation, my mother is like this, my uncle is like this, my father, so there's nothing for me outside. So they don't have that factor that, I can be better.
Youth employment or youth options was a very difficult one, simply because there were such divergent views and such a big need. We created a database of unemployed young people in Helenvale, and the database went in excess of 3,500 young people in Helenvale, and that's not a complete database by any stretch of the imagination. But that indicates that roughly 100 young people per street are unemployed. That's a very large number. And because you can't get all of them into training programs, you can't give all of them jobs, it makes the demand on the program for youth options so much more difficult, especially given during the project period where jobs in the sector have gone down. And for Helenvale, particularly for Helenvale young people, not having a matric is a particular barrier. So access to second chance matric programs or to help after school work has been part of the response to creating that resilience and encouraging young people to complete high school. That remains a big challenge.
We started off with bringing them to a safe environment like the neighbouring community halls, where we would have interactions with young people and invite the likes of the Youth Development Agency, CEDA and others to come and interact with them in a more safe environment. We've had the National Youth Development Agency extend their services to actually go and do services right in the heart of Helenvale at the Resource Centre. We've had at least 5 of the young people who were on our program awarded with vouchers for business plans, and at least 5 of them also being identified as possible grant recipients as well. LEAP was contracted by SPUU to perform the Youth Employment Services Solutions as part of the broader SPUU program. That program is made up of 3 pivotal components, the first one being skills development and placement, career guidance and counselling, and the third one being entrepreneurship or SMME support.
It started like in the beginning of the year. They offer different courses. So I did sit in the business class from like a few months in the year, starting from March. And then we heard about the learnerships that they're gonna offer, and that's how I got interested and we were selected. We had like interview sessions where they came up and asked us that what we wanna do, like the courses that we're interested in doing here at ETC. I'm currently doing the electrical course. It started on the 14th of November. It's for 20 days. So last week is our last week. We're currently busy with the installations. We did joins. In Helenvale, there's a lot of gangsterism going. Like currently, even every day when we come here, going home, then we hear there's another shooting incident. And the guys drop out of school. Most of them is at home, unemployed. So by getting involved into this kind of trainings, I think it's going to be beneficial for them as well. To keep them off the streets and just let them do something to keep them busy with.
Well, first of all, they're very much different from the normal learners that we get here, because the normal learners are already employed and they are apprentices. They come here as apprentices. So they basically off the street, and teaching them a new skill is something new to them, and it was an interesting challenge. Most of the time, the biggest challenge that I've experienced with them is because of their situation, their personal situation. They tend to be absent a lot. And it's not because they don't want to be here, because I can see the eagerness in them, I can see the excitement in them for learning some new skill. But personal circumstances prevent them sometimes of, but they're coping. I can confidently say they're definitely glad to be here, they're excited to be here, and they're definitely learning something valuable to them.
The youth was initially created because our youth didn't have a platform to speak about things that youth speak about, from seeking for a job, but that changed. Because when you come into the youth, our main purpose of the youth is, to be change agents. We want young people to come and, come talk about things like how to find a job, how to talk, how to stand up for yourself. When we started in 2013, we started with, the youth want work. A lot of them, they didn't have education. So what happened, they went back to school, and the one guy, he is now like, he's an adventure assistant. So he takes the people out on camps, teach them leadership. And the other one, he's a businessman today.
The program that we were involved in, especially the career guidance and counseling and skills development, targeted young people who were both in school and out of school. Most young people in school had absolutely no career orientation. They had no idea what it was they wanted to do in terms of formal career aspirations. We conducted a number of career assessments with them, which actually assisted them in terms of identifying what their occupational interests were.
My name is Sergio Jansen. I'm from Helenvale, Barcelona. I'm currently doing my honors at NMMU in Public Administration. I have done a bachelor's degree in Psychology and Public Administration. So we are doing a program for business advisory services, skills development and career guidance. So for startup businesses for the youth, we offer business training. The business training is just to learn the youth the fundamentals of running a business. Because the thing is that we find that most companies in Helenvale, they lack the capacity to run a successful business. For existing businesses, we offer business advice, business mentoring and coaching. And we assist them to become compliant with business regulations. So one of the areas that I think work well is especially the skills development department, the learnerships. And they're learning interesting stuff like business communication, customer service, and I think that is one of the things that is actually needed in the work. The learners also get the opportunity to work for great companies throughout the learnership. So at the end of the day, they stand a chance to get employed by one of the great companies in Port Elizabeth. And they also gain valuable experience, which also makes them more employable.
I think what stood out for me when we had our recent graduation of learners who participated in the first round of technical skills at the East Cape Training Centre, what stood out for me was the fact that we sensed immediately that all of those learners who made it through to completion were the ones who had a positive attitude. And that was directly attributed to the session done by our career guidance counsellor, where she spoke to them around how to present yourself, positive thinking, positioning yourself for interviews and for career prospects. So that in itself, I think, was maybe if you can call it an indirect outcome of our interventions, but it has shown us the importance of integrating these three pillars of the youth employment solutions. We sensed a lot of hope, and you can imagine when a young person from a family when nobody has ever done a technical program, but what it meant to them in those families was just immense, So there is this cascading hope that we see.
If you occupy the mind, you occupy the hands. And if you occupy the hands, you occupy the individual. Just to tell them, look here, I was there in that position. I know what it's like to be in that position or be going down that road. And it's not a way to go.
I'm very lucky and happy to be here. There's many youth guys and many guys in our community, like in Helenvale. There's few of us getting that opportunities to go to a place and show yourself and do something with your future. As I'm saying, this fitting turning course I'm doing at the moment is like my future and I love it. Every day we're learning something new.
I'm Tess Ellison and I'm from Helenvale. I'm a dancer for 16 years now. Yes, exact. I danced for 5 years in Cape Town. But before that, we danced together for 7 years and then we made SA Champs thrice here. We represented and we got South African colors in Latin American, and I started the dance school with my ex-partner. And now we're 3 years old, our dance school, and we're enjoying it. Never give up in what you do, because you will always get people that doubt in you, and never blame the area that you stay in, because there's lots of people here that has lots of talent. There's doctors, there's nurses, there's lawyers, there's teachers, there's us, we dancers. And you can express yourself through dancing. You can actually tell a story by dancing. Each type of dance has a story.
What we're actually basically rapping about is the struggle that we go through daily. And like in every day on a daily basis go through, we rap about it and we try to make a change in our neighborhood by spreading the positive instead of the negative. I know sometimes it's hard in Helenvale, sometimes opportunities is more slowly, and as time goes on, it will improve, and you need to stay positive, yes, and stay away from drugs and guns, and yeah, that's the message, positive.
And for those who's trying to build a positive lifestyle for them, it's to never give up, to follow their dreams. As our school, Gavendale's high motto say, reach for the stars, so they must reach for the stars. Don't let the circumstances in your house, in your surrounding households, bring you down. Let that make you stronger. Let it be like a bouncing ball. The harder you hit that ball, the higher you will go.